Chosen one, stop. Stop right now. Not in fear, not in panic, but in awareness. Pause whatever you were doing. Pause the noise. Pause the rush. Because this moment did not arrive by accident. Something in your life is about to change, and that's why you're here. You didn't click this randomly. You didn't land here because of an algorithm alone. You are here because something needed to slow you down. This is not background sound. This is not a message to multitask through. This is not something to save for later. This is an interruption. And interruptions only happen when what comes next matters more than what you were doing before. Take a breath. Let the urgency settle. If your spirit feels alert right now, if something inside you feels quiet but focused, that's not curiosity, that's recognition. Chosen one, this message found you on purpose. And before anything else is said, understand this clearly. God does not interrupt people to confuse them. He interrupts to realign them. He does not stop those who are lost. He stops those who are drifting without noticing. You've been moving, staying busy, handling responsibilities, doing what needed to be done. From the outside, it looked productive. From the outside, it looked fine, but deep inside, something felt off. Not wrong, not sinful, just empty. Like you were doing many things, but not the right ones. Like motion replaced meaning. And here's where it showed up. You wake up already tired, not because you didn't sleep, but because your mind never truly rests. You move through your routine, work, messages, decisions, expectations. You check off tasks, but something inside you keeps asking, why does this feel heavier than it should? You're doing responsible things, necessary things, even good things. But at the end of the day, you feel disconnected from yourself. That quiet discomfort is not failure, it's feedback. It's your spirit saying, this pace is costing you something. That's why this interruption feels sharp. That's why it feels personal. God didn't stop you because you failed. He stopped you because momentum was carrying you away from yourself. And if you had kept going, you would have arrived somewhere successful, but misaligned. Chosen one, listen carefully. That restlessness you've been feeling lately, it was not boredom, it was not weakness, it was not ingratitude. It was your spirit signaling for attention. You tried to explain it away. You blamed stress. You blamed timing. You blamed exhaustion. You told yourself you just needed rest, or a break, or a change of scenery. But the truth is simpler and heavier. Your soul was slipping into distraction. Not destruction, not rebellion, distraction. And distraction is dangerous because it feels harmless. It looks like progress. It feels like responsibility. It sounds like maturity. But it quietly pulls you away from alignment. So God interrupted you. And notice how the interruption didn't come with chaos. It came with stillness, not panic, not fear. Just a pause that made you aware again. God doesn't always shout. Sometimes he removes the noise so you can hear yourself think. Right now, nothing needs to be decided. Nothing needs to be fixed. Nothing needs to be proven. Stillness is the assignment. This interruption removes excuses. It removes the ability to pretend you didn't notice. God is not negotiating right now. He's not asking how you feel about it. He's calling you back. Back to center. Back to clarity. Back to the place where your spirit can breathe again. That's why certain things don't satisfy you anymore. Conversations feel shallow. Environments feel heavy. Noise feels irritating. Some relationships suddenly drain you instead of energizing you. Not because those things are bad, not because people are evil, but because they no longer match who you are becoming. God interrupts when you start surviving in places you were meant to lead. Chosen one, hear this slowly. You were never designed to fit everywhere. You were never called to chase everything. You were never meant to carry expectations heaven never assigned to you. The reason you've always felt slightly out of place, even when life looked fine, is because fine was never your destination. God sets certain people apart early, not to isolate them, but to protect what He placed inside them. Blending in would have diluted your assignment. You are not too sensitive. You are not too intense. You are not too different. You are simply misaligned with ordinary paths. And God will always interrupt before the wrong environment reshapes your identity. Now let's talk about what you lost. The doors that closed. The plans that fell apart. The opportunities that didn't last. The paths you were sure were right. You thought God was delaying you, but He was protecting you. Some doors close not because you weren't ready, but because staying would have cost you your purpose. Some paths look good on the outside, but they lead nowhere on the inside. God closes doors before they become cages. He interrupts trajectories that feel successful, but empty your spirit over time. And even though it hurt, even though you questioned it, even though it slowed you down, it saved you. God is not fixing your schedule right now. He's restoring your identity. Remember who you were before you learned to perform, before you measured your worth by output, before you said yes just to keep peace, before you silenced your instincts to avoid conflict. Alignment doesn't mean isolation. It means clarity. It means knowing what deserves your energy and what doesn't. God is not pulling you away from people. He's teaching you how to stand without losing yourself. So God says, sit with me before you move again. This interruption is not punishment, it's reintroduction. It's God reminding you of who you were before fear taught you to shrink, before survival taught you to settle, before pressure taught you to compromise. Chosen one, nothing you endured was wasted. The betrayal sharpened your discernment. The delay strengthened your patience. The loneliness deepened your dependence. The pressure expanded your capacity. You thought you were barely making it through, but heaven was building strength. Purpose requires capacity, and capacity is not formed in comfort. God interrupts when the training season ends and the awareness season begins. That's why this moment feels heavy. Clarity carries responsibility. Once God interrupts you like this, you cannot pretend you didn't hear Him. Silence breaks. Confusion starts lifting. Excuses lose their power. This interruption removes options. Because when God calls you back to alignment, He's not asking for partial obedience. He's calling you fully, not perfection, not performance, not comparison, not pressure. Alignment. Walking with Him again. Listening before acting. Choosing obedience over approval. Measuring your life by eternal truth, not temporary applause. Your assignment is not to impress people. It is not to chase attention. It is not to compete. Your assignment is to walk with God. Everything else finds its place after that. Here is the truth most people miss. Interruptions always come before movement. After this moment, things will shift. Some people will fade. Some desires will lose urgency. Some paths will stop calling your name. And peace will begin to replace pressure. You won't have to force doors anymore. What's meant for you will come with clarity, not chaos. God interrupted you to realign you, and alignment unlocks momentum. Chosen one, God didn't stop you to scare you. He stopped you to save time. Time you would have spent chasing. Time you would have spent forcing. Time you would have spent surviving. He stopped you now because the next chapter requires awareness. Let this settle. You are not behind. You are not late. You are not forgotten. You were simply interrupted for a reason. And if something in your spirit feels calm right now, if clarity quietly entered, if it feels like God spoke directly into your situation, that is not emotion. That is alignment. Take one quiet step of agreement, not for people, not for performance, but as a response to what you just heard. And if you want to stay in moments like this, moments of clarity, alignment, and spiritual awareness, subscribe to this channel. This space exists to help you stay grounded, attentive, and close to God's voice when it matters most. Before you leave this moment, don't rush past it. If this message steadied you, if it brought clarity, if it reminded you who you are, stay connected. And if you know someone who feels restless, distracted, or spiritually distant, share this with them. This may be the interruption their soul has been waiting for. Remember this: you are not lost. You are not behind. You were interrupted on purpose. Stay ready, stay aligned, and stay close. This conversation isn't finished yet. Stay ready, because the next moment of clarity is closer than you think.